Hello, my name is Jackie Kirkup. Welcome to Spotlight on Souris. Today is Friday, November the 1st, 2024. With me today, I have Cathy Williams to my far right, representing the Westman Mental Wellness and Suicide Prevention Committee. And then to my immediate right, I have Dennis Lonsdale, who's the manager at Redfern. So welcome you both to our little show here tonight.
Thank you for having us.
So, I know there's some very exciting news. I think it's already out and about into the world via social media, but here, this is our social media here tonight. So, without further ado, I will maybe turn it over to you, Dennis, and you can tell us about this special event that's happening.
It's happening.
Yes.
Well, not too long ago, earlier this summer, there was the opportunity through one of our distributors
Okay.
to put forward a proposal for a community project, and they had some money to give away to put towards it.
Well, that's always a great incentive, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's a very good incentive. So I kind of phoned, I think Cathy I phoned.
Yeah.
I got a hold of you first, didn't I? And I says, is there any projects that you want to put forward? Here's an idea that I've always had, and it was the idea of kind of a counseling service that would kind of be available to those that needed it before they could get in to see their professionals that they were, the appointments they had. And I said, well, as a matter of fact, the local home and wellness out of Brandon, I think that's
Home counseling.
home counseling
Yes.
and wellness out of Brandon, are trying to initiate such a service. So,
Isn't that, it was meant to be.
yeah, so I put forward a proposal, and independent egg dealers or retailers throughout the province were eligible, and I submitted one on our behalf, and we were fortunate enough to win the $10,000.
$10,000?
Yep.
Oh my goodness, how incredible.
Yeah.
Wow, so exciting.
Yeah.
So that must have you all just raring and ready to go with getting this project in motion. So what is that looking like? This $10,000, that's a significant amount of money for this organization.
Well, it is. It's surprising how quickly that'll go, I'm sure.
Oh, yes, it sounds like a lot. Yes, I
Yeah.
know, and it doesn't take much sometimes.
But yeah, we had the framework pretty much worked out here. I think over the next couple of weeks, we'll have some of the logistical stuff sorted out. But the funds will go towards helping those that perhaps are unable to get out to see to get to their a professional counselor, or do not have the funds perhaps to cover it. I think it's going to do some great work as far as education and outreach for those individuals.
Yes, I think, as we all know, mental wellness and suicides is at the forefront of a lot of the conversations around in the entire world these days. So many have been affected themselves, or know others that have been. I know I had talked to Cathy, you here before, and there was sort of what that home counseling would look like, say, if they could go down to Melita for a day and help
Right.
out.
Yeah.
So can you sort of give an example of how that might look?
Well, Redfern has a fairly large area, or not Redfern, I guess. Yeah, Redfern. is-
Southwest.
So we're trying to look at communities that may not have very good access to counseling locally.
Okay.
So we are looking for 3 or 4 communities, I think we'll be looking for spaces in those communities, and our counselor will be traveling to those communities one day a week, probably.
Okay.
And
Wow.
yeah, and I think that they're also talking about maybe some like telehealth or whatever too,
Right.
for
Okay.
if people would rather do it that way. But it'll involve a few communities in the Redfern area of
Right.
Manitoba.
Yeah, that entirely makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Headquartered at a Souris for now, and just it'll
Expand.
we'll
Expand
hope-
from there,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I was talking to Brenda a few days ago, and I did get privy to this information a little bit of ahead of time, and I just even talked, and again, Melita just is an example from my mind where it's like an hour
Yeah.
from there to Souris even, and if they're off to Brandon to see a counselor, like you could be taking a whole afternoon off, just to get to your appointment.
Exactly.
And
Mhm.
yeah, like fuel is expensive and people's time is also, you know,
Valuable.
valuable, right?
Yeah.
And having, you know, perhaps someone come into the community to have people to be able to access this just is amazing to me.
It's a little bit more of a comfort zone for the individual as well. The stigma that is attached to the mental health and everything that goes along with that, if you can kind of make them feel a little more at home, they're more liable to reach out and access the help they need.
Yeah, I would certainly agree with you. It's definitely, that's taking that very first step or the initiation.
Mhm.
And, you know, if you're not having to maybe, drive and, you know, and plan a whole day to get somewhere to do it and can access it readily in your community, I think that's just pretty amazing. Would the counseling options be just for, like, young adults, or is it available for, you know, seniors or all ages?
Sure. I'll let Cathy maybe address that. She had some, we met with Kat Arnold.
Yes, so at home counseling, they have like a youth counselor. So they're offering for youth and adult counseling.
Okay, wow. If someone wanted to access this counseling and say they had benefits through their work, would they be able to use their benefits?
Yeah, we would certainly, that would be the first line of paying for it, would be to go through their insurance program. But if an individual does not have insurance coverage, then the funds from this program would kick in and cover that.
Wow, that is amazing.
And I think part of that too is there's such a long waiting list now to get in to see a counselor. So with what we're trying to do is get people to be able to get to see a counselor earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I think, you know, if you have insurance, you know, that's fine, but it's that faster access to.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely wait times are for so many things, but definitely counseling, I know there's quite a wait time.
We talked in depth about that too. It can be up 4 to 6 months before you get in to see a counselor.
Wow.
It's kind of a crisis-based
Mm-hmm.
system. So if you're in crisis, they'll deal with you. If not, they shuffle you off to the sidelines.
Right.
Almost is what it feels like. With this program, we'll get some immediate feedback to the individual that makes the contact. It might still be a day or two to get the appointment in, but at least they know they're being looked after.
Right.
Yeah, so
Right.
I think that's important.
It is, and even the fees for private counseling, you know, certainly $100 and up seems to be the rates, and
Yeah.
that's you know, I mean, they're getting paid to do the service, right?
Right.
And they have a very important
Yeah.
service to do, and you know, they're valuable, but
Yeah.
that is also sometimes
It's
very out of reach.
Yeah,
unattainable for some people,
Mhm.
yeah.
that's an hourly rate too. That's not.
Yes,
just
that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
So there.
I was just gonna have a little sneak here through my questions. So we talked about when the project was gonna be up and running, and now I know there's more exciting news besides this $10,000.
Yes,
So I think
yes.
that's what we need to tell the people.
Yeah, so we've been out, when I say we, I mean Cathy and Brenda and myself, and I'm not sure who else, I'm hoping we get some other people on board, but we're out campaigning for community support, I guess.
Okay, well, what's that
So-
look like?
Well, what that looks like is we're presenting this opportunity that we've been awarded and what it'll do for our community, and we're asking that people out there submit an online vote via their email. They can vote for each email account they have,
Okay,
but a daily vote from now till the 18th, and the most votes will secure another $20,000.
whoa,
So that
20?
20.
20.
So
20.
30 total.
30 in
So-
total is what we could.
Yeah.
So we have 10, we know we have 10.
We'd have 10.
But we could get 20.
We could get another 20.
And so we need
Everybody
vote
to vote.
Yes.
for
yes, we do.
this project.
Yes.
This project.
Yes.
So voting could look, I know I seen it on Facebook this afternoon and on Instagram, and I know there's a few other social media platforms out there. Quick link to click on, submit your email address, click on who you're voting for, because I know you're competing against 2 other provinces, am I correct?
Actually, there's 3 other provinces. So Alberta had a $10,000 winner as well.
Okay.
So did Saskatchewan and Ontario.
Okay, so Manitoba, and this is the only project
Yes.
in Manitoba that's
Right.
vying for this extra 20,000.
That's right. We're now competing nationally, I guess if you were, Western
Yeah.
Canada. Western Canada.
Oh, that is super amazing. So starting today until November the 18th,
Correct.
you can, if you have one email address, you can vote every day, right? Just one vote a day?
Per email.
Per email,
So you
so-
could have a work email and you could have a personal email. So you could vote once on each of those.
Okay,
So that would be
okay.
2 votes.
Well, that's pretty cool and simple.
And simple.
Yeah, votes. Wow.
Yeah.
Will you know as the campaign's going along, like say
Yes.
day 3, how many votes this project might have?
Yes, there is a tally online that started on Monday, I believe. And
Yeah,
I think it's
I forget the date, but yeah.
4th.
I guess they're gonna let it get a few votes accumulated, then get us.
Okay. Okay. So, so there's a social media piece going out. What are some other things that are happening? I know you were doing some visiting
Yeah,
around in some other communities today.
Yeah, I was going around with my little pamphlets and flyers and shaking hands and introducing it to people and letting them know what's out there. There's the social media, word of mouth.
Yeah, word of mouth is
Word of mouth is huge.
Yes, absolutely.
And on the Facebook, I would mention, and I'm not sure how Instagram and all that works, but on Facebook, you can take it and share it.
Yes,
And then your friends can take it and share it.
yes.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
No.
In fact, we encourage
We
that.
encourage that.
I think of my sister. She lives in Alberta. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be for sure telling her, like, you get on here and
Yeah.
you're voting for Manitoba. But, you know,
really live in
share
Alberta.
that
Yeah.
with your
Yeah.
family and friends,
Yeah.
like across the world. So we were just talking about this this possible $20,000 and how that might look if you might win and have this $30,000 and how exciting that would be and what the work that could be done. And we were just talking about how the Westman Mental Wellness Committee is mostly located here in Souris. The founders are here, but this is a Westman initiative, so it's not just a Souris-based thing. It's to go throughout the entire Westman region. So that is a big encompassing region when I think about Westman. So, is there anything else that we might be missing? We talked a lot about the social media, how to vote, how Red Ferns is involved, how this idea just came together, and I feel like it was just meant to be that you two happened to chat. People can look for this Raise the Barn.
Raise the Barn logo, yes.
Right, logo, if they're on the social media,
Yeah.
they'll know that to direct them to where to vote.
Yeah.
If anybody has any questions, these lovely people have offered to share their phone numbers if anybody wanted to give them a call. So Dennis, if you don't mind sharing your number.
Sure, you can reach me at 204-573-8360.
Perfect. And Cathy.
I can be reached at 204-721-4944.
Excellent. And I know, Dennis, this was an initiative out of Red Ferns just to start with through this Raise the Barn and got the ball rolling. And then these ladies in this committee, they're just going to be, facilitating, and hopefully this is a project that we'll be able to continue on in the communities for a long time to come.
Yes, that's the hope.
Excellent. Well, a pleasure. So exciting. $10,000 is amazing, but the possibility of 20 is even more amazing. So from November 1st to November the 18th, you can make an online vote with your email address and make sure you're voting for the Souris project. This has been Spotlight on Souris for Friday, November the 1st, 2024.